You're listening to the Night Demon Network. Go to nightdemon.net/subscriber to unlock more exclusive content.
Hello and welcome to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. I'm your host, Nesbit, and this is the second part of a two-part Ask the Demon live episode. So if you missed part one, well, Night Demon subscribers were invited to take part in a live virtual hangout with the band. And there's lots of great questions, and the guys in the band, they pretty much answered everything they were asked. So lots of breaking Night Demon news and insider info. This is the place where you'll hear it all first. This is Ask the Demon Live, Part 2. So I'll quickly mention that in the subscriber section on nightdemon.net, you can view the full video replay of Ask the Demon Live. There'll be more of these in the future. If you want to get in on a future virtual hangout with the band, just sign up to be a subscriber on nightdemon.net. I wasn't on the call. I was with my family at my cabin, not near a computer, sort of off the grid. But I did watch the video, and I'm editing this into a two-part episode for the podcast. A funny story about this episode, kind of just to get off on a tangent here before we get into the call. I was editing this podcast in my studio in my basement at my house, and I heard what I thought was someone moving my patio furniture around on my deck, and it was really loud. And I went upstairs to see what was going on. I looked out in my backyard, and there was a moose on my deck. It jumped the fence, ran around my backyard, hung out for a little bit, then it kind of jumped the fence, went on up the street. So it's kind of interrupted from editing this one by a moose. So it's a very Canadian story for the making of this episode. So let's get into the call. Like I said, the guys in Night Demon basically said, ask us anything. No holds barred, no questions go unanswered. Lots of cool stuff in here. Talk of a future possible live DVD. There's more info on the upcoming Night Demon full-length album. A breakdown of the content on it, sort of, and future Frost and Fire Festival plans. But I'll just play the call. You guys can hear for yourself. So this is part 2. We're kind of jumping right back in. The introduction and the setup was in part 1, so we're kind of jumping back into this at full speed. So full speed ahead. Here's Ask the Demon part 2.
Okay, now we move on. Ciara Moore from Dublin, Ireland.
Kira.
Hello. Kira, I'm sorry. I'm actually in Northern Ireland right now. So I'm getting used to how to pronounce things properly. So, yeah.
Cool. I wanted to say as well, it's really nice to see everybody who has been interacting on the subscribers, see the faces, put the faces to the names. It's really nice. So it's good to see everyone who's on the call today. I first came across Night Demon mid 2017. You're due to play in Dublin later that year, a show with Rabbit Bitch of the North, really good heavy metal band from Belfast. So we bought the CDs and went along to the show and were just absolutely blown away. I went with my husband and my brother-in-law, and we just that performance in that room that night we were just hooked. That's it. Love the band. So I think a couple of weeks later we saw Frost and Fire in London was advertised, so we just bought tickets straight away and went over to that. That was such an amazing weekend. The warm-up show on the Friday, Jaguar playing and Mithra, and then the lineup for the Saturday was just unbelievable. Witch Hazel, Amulet, you guys, Angel Witch, and Sirathungal was just such a great festival. I'm not really into festivals. I'm getting too old for that kind of thing, but 1 or 2 days is good by me. So I think after that, then there was a bit of a gap. Didn't see you until Heavy Hamburg 2, 2019, and that was with Haunt and Angel Witch again. I think that was Haunt's first show in Europe.
Yeah, first European show. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good. It was great night. I really love Hamburg. So we actually have tickets for the next one if that goes ahead. And then we saw you in Dublin then in December with Sacred Reich, just before the pandemic came. So yeah, I'd say my question I was gonna ask, the fact that you're all physically distanced now, how is that affecting your creative process, and what are you doing to kind of overcome it with your being so far apart?
Who wants to take that one?
Well, I'll start with that. Sure, let's go.
Go ahead, Arma.
Creative.
Well, here's the thing: when this whole thing first went down, we were still all in town together. We were kind of working on stuff anyway at our own studio, and it really didn't stop us right away because we were figured, we're around each other all the time. Anyways, we didn't feel like we were putting ourselves at risk. We decided to take the chance for whatever reason to finish what we were working on. So we actually made a lot of productive time in the first few months when everything was shut down. We couldn't go on tour. We were just gearing up to hit the road. Like 2 weeks, before everything was like for sure locked down. I mean, it was like every week was like, oh, well, are we still going? Are we still going? I don't know. And we're just planning on it. But so we've done everything we can and made a bunch of music. And I mean, right now, I guess we're kind of, like Jarvis mentioned before, he's working on the vocals for this new material. And, I'm doing what I can here and there, writing some riffs, and I know he is as well. And we're going to plan on starting to send some stuff back and forth to each other and work on some new material before next year happens. And hopefully we just get the machine going again and won't be home again, for a while. So it's the only way we can do it, I guess, until we're back in town together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you want to add to that, Dustin?
No, he pretty much covered it.
Yeah, so I'll address that and a couple other things that you mentioned. Yeah, first of all, wow, that's awesome. Like all of that stuff. I mean, you basically, you've been a lot of cool events that we've actually put on, not just have performed. So that does mean a lot to us. Heavy Hamburg Halloween will probably not happen this year. It may happen. It probably won't happen with us. Just because there might be some version of it. We have a partner out of Germany that does the festival with us, but the way that the vaccine rollout is happening now in Europe, I mean, I don't know. They're saying tourists can come this summer now, so I mean, I don't know. For us, we had a tour booked around that. We were going to do a co-headlining tour with Midnight all through Europe, based around that. And so that's the thing. But you never know. It may happen. There still is a chance that we may come for just the one show. I don't know yet. But if we're not there, you can get a refund. You have my word. but we'll figure something else out. And so another thing to address is not wanting, being too old for festivals. Like, yeah, I feel that sometimes too, the whole vibe. Our festivals are very, as you know, they're very small and they're contained. And we always put on festivals where you can, we want every band to be able to be seen. There's not too much noise going on where you have to pick and choose and all this stuff is happening simultaneously. We always take the less is more approach and have less bands and higher quality bands at that in our mind. So here's another thing. We had the Academy booked in Dublin for this February 2021. We were putting on a Frost and Fire here called Frost and Fireland. And because of the pandemic, that had to be canceled. So we were actually bringing Frost and Fire to Ireland, and we still would like to do that, and we're going to figure out how to do that. But that was planned. That was going to happen. That was going to happen this year. There's a. I guess we should talk about some other things then too, since we're just putting it all on the table here. So I'm in Northern Ireland. Armand's in Ventura, California. Dustin is in Pennsylvania, in Bangor, Pennsylvania. So yeah, we're all spread apart by thousands of miles, and we have been for months now since late last year. We plan on getting together in October. Dusty's going to come out to California for the month, and we're going to start writing and recording what will be the next album after the one that's supposed to come out. So we are staying active and productive and kind of staying with that. Touring. I hope I'm not, if I'm blowing everybody else's questions, that's fine. You don't have to ask them, but anyway, touring is going to move back pretty much 1 year. So we're going to tour in April of next year is when we're going to start going back out. The Satan Night Demon US tour is rescheduled for next April. We haven't announced it. A lot of these bands have announced and postponed their tours 3-4 times. We haven't done it once. We've done it behind the scenes, but we haven't done it publicly, and I'm thankful that we haven't, because at a certain point you're kind of like, didn't I already go to that, or is that still happening? And we're just kind of like, no, we don't want to do that till we know for sure. And at this point, it looks like, you never know from day to day. Things are rolling out quick, and then they stop, or they pull back. And, we just like to have a better plan on what we're doing. We feel confident that next April 2022, there'll be, I think, our best chance. And if things are still kind of iffy by then we'll just roll the dice and do it anyway. But it's a thing right now, especially if you're a touring band, it's not like doing a one-off. I mean, especially if you're touring in Europe, you're crossing borders every day. One country might have a different rule than the next. In the States, there's 48 states that are connected that we'd have to travel through. We could play in Florida and everything's fine. And then we cross a border to another state, and our fans are being told, hey, if you're not vaccinated, you can't come into the show. Or if you're vaccinated, you're unvaccinated. Here's the lepers area. It's like, look, we're not trying to get political with it, and we want everybody to make their own mind about this, but we're not going to go out and perform when our people may be segregated for their personal choices, right? So that's a decision that we made. So, a lot of people are announcing tours this year. I could safely say now that besides the occasional one-off, which may happen for this band, we will not be on the road until April of 2022. So, cool. Breaking all the news here. I like it. All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you. I mean, we got to hook up. It's crazy. I'm up here, but out here in Ireland, so you guys know, it's been it's been crazy lockdown. It's never really eased up. It's like,
no, it's been really long. The longest in the world.
Yeah, you get fined around here if you drive 5 kilometers outside of your house. So. But thank you so much. I feel like we're so far away, but I feel like very connected to you, because we're not. We're like
only down the road.
Yeah, but we'll work that out. Okay.
And we love Ireland and Dublin and all those places. We can't wait to get back there. It's one of my favorite places ever in the fucking world.
Yeah, Armand definitely loves it.
Can't wait.
But hey, one thing.
Love me a good Guinness.
Yeah, I knew Dusty was going to say that. He's like, loves Guinness. But the one thing I'll tell my two bandmates is I've been here since last year, and I've yet to go to one pub that they're not open. So today, this weekend in Northern Ireland, they've opened pubs outdoors, but it's like, why are you going to go sit outside of an Irish pub? I mean, that takes away all the charm, right? So.
There's definitely going to be some, and talking about the touring and all that, there's definitely going to be some time, where it's going to take for everything to kind of start evening out and balancing all around the world. I think that's the biggest hurdle, and especially how much we travel outside of the States. it's crazy time. And, yeah, we're not with each other right now, but honestly, we were with each other for so long, every day in and day out. So honestly, I think creatively and for anything in the future with our band, I think it's going to be kind of like full speed ahead, and no pun intended,
No pun intended, bro.
I think it's going to be really, I think it's really good for us. I think we're going to be able to meet in the middle and, come up with some good shit. So
no, if we meet in the middle, that means we're going to Pennsylvania, and that ain't happening, man. You know that.
You guys don't want to come here anyway.
I like it
it's
there,
a hidden
actually.
secret.
Nah, it's pretty cool. You live in a cool place, but it's not the magic of Ireland, that's for sure. But it's pretty magical where you live. But anyway, yeah. Oh, one last thing about Ireland. I think, we've been talking about doing like an actual Irish tour. Like, going, one thing about Night Demon is we've always gone to places that bands don't go. I mean, even in the early days, it's hard to believe that we couldn't even get a gig in Germany. It was really hard for us to get gigs in Germany. We would tour Spain for like 2 weeks. We would go to small towns. Even in the US, we'd go to small towns where people weren't around, and we would go there and there'd be like a few metalheads, but things grew from there. There were scenes that we kind of spawned. We even saw that we would come back around and there'd be new metal bands and stuff like that. So we want to do that in Ireland. There's definitely some spots, and we've got a lot of friends here now and other bands that want to help out with that. So that's next summer, kind of between when Maiden comes here. I think we'll probably do something like that. So we'll see at those gigs. So, okay, cool. Thank you. All right.
So I'm going to interrupt every so often if I have a little more information to add. But there is some tour info. I mean, nothing's been officially released yet with these dates. But for you guys, for the podcast listeners, that's some updated info on this year's touring. And something else Jarvis mentioned was Frost and Fireland, which is Frost and Fire in Ireland. So the lineup for that was going to be Night Demon, Cirith Ungol, Satan, Visigoth, Midnight, and Jaguar. It was supposed to be February 11th of 2020 at the Academy in Dublin. It was all booked and ready to go. It was actually Jarvis's birthday. So they're trying to reschedule that for summer of 2022. So that lineup is so awesome. It's, I don't know. I'll definitely make a trip to Dublin for that. I mean, I'm on the east coast of Canada. It's the same distance for me to fly to Dublin as it is for me to fly to Toronto. So fingers crossed for summer 2022 for Frost and Fireland.
All right, we're going to John Schuler from Grove City, Ohio. Here we go. John, unmute your microphone, please, sir.
John. There. Sorry, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
What up, John?
It's Sunday. How you
How's it
doing?
going,
Hey,
brother?
buddy.
Oh, look at the Night Demon shrine behind you, huh?
You got a symbol up there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I got some stuff. I got probably 7 or 8 dusty sticks.
Yeah,
The one up there
buddy.
is from the live show that I finally got. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. The live show where we almost poisoned you to
Yeah,
death,
you almost
right?
died.
Because you were getting blasted by the fucking fog machine.
Legionnaire's disease, guys. I blame that on Bill Peters. But anyways.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I think the first time I saw Night Demon was when you guys opened up for Raven in 2014. Had no idea who you guys were. Tried to find some stuff on YouTube back then. And there just wasn't a lot. And man, I went into that show and it was just, I was blown away just by how great you guys were live. Because again, that's kind of where I come from. I've probably seen 700 live shows in my lifetime. I've seen everybody. And you guys were right up there, and you still are. I think I've seen you 10 times now. So hopefully when you guys go on tour next April, see a whole bunch more because you are my favorite band right now.
Thank you, John.
We have to hold. Thank you.
Thanks,
we have to
man.
hold that. We have to hold that.
Yeah, well, when you get up to, I've seen Rush 76 times. So when you guys get up to that level.
Well, I've got something to tell you then, but keep going.
Okay. So anyways, I'll get in my question because I know we're running kind of late. And it's nice to see everybody on here. I know I saw Kit. I saw you, Det. It's hopefully we'll get together real soon and we can have some fun again. But my question is live video, DVD of a live show, because I'm sick of watching the Whacking Show on YouTube. Will we ever get a live DVD that we can actually, with some extras in it that we can watch it? From an extra standpoint, I know that you guys had some cameras at the live show in Cleveland. Is there some footage from that? Because really you guys told everybody not to tape. Nobody taped. It was pretty phenomenal, actually, when you got right down to it, because everybody was so into the show. But is there some footage of that around somewhere?
Yeah, we have, I think, 9 cameras from the live Darkness show. I think we have 9 camera angles from that. That's the thing. We didn't let anybody film or tape, but we definitely had our own thing. We had some house photographers there too. That's how we got the photography from the show. But yeah, we have the files for that. I'm sure that will come out when that album has an anniversary or something, But as far as an official live DVD, yeah, I see that happening probably on this next record, just due to the fact of this podcast. Our idea is to keep this podcast going indefinitely every week. And I'm sure you guys know how much work that is. But the thing is, when we're on the road, I think we want to take the podcast to the road. And so, Armand and I have discussed briefly about what technical aspect it's going to take. We're still, see, the good thing is, I guess we're stoked we have another 11 months before we tour, but basically we're going to be taping every show from now on. I mean, professionally taping every show. We're going to have to, and the podcast is going to keep up to date. So if you're not on tour with us, you'll know everything that happened that week. You can hear snippets from the gigs. You can hear from the people that were at the shows. We really want to document things as they happen, because it's funny when you go back in time and document things. I mean, we're only going back, 5 to 8 years on some of this stuff. I imagine, it's funny I'm sure all you guys have seen when older bands are talking about stuff and they just don't remember everything. Oh, I was really high back then. Or it's like, so we're lucky that we're not having to remember so far back, but even still, Dusty and Armand and I, we never, ever, ever talk to each other before we do these interviews for the podcast. We want to make it authentic, and our stories just seem to line up, and there's a lot of things that these guys say that I'm like, oh man, there's no way I would have ever remembered that. So it's good to have other people. It's good to have the cast of characters involved. But I'm just saying, yeah, moving forward, we're going to be taping everything. We're taking it to a whole new level of documenting what's happening with the band. So the idea is, yeah, we'll definitely have a pro concert film like that. But, we want to, if we're going to do that, we want to have the option of putting it together the way we want, not just kind of, the Cleveland thing was we did what we had to do. We showed up and it was run and gun, and we're so grateful that it turned out good. I don't know if you guys wanted to add to that. Sorry. I kind of been taken over. That's what I do. I'm fucking sorry. Shit.
Well, I mean, I pretty much already knew that was going to be the case with this, but that's okay.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah. No, it's like, I mean, that would definitely be something that's cool. But I mean, it's like one of those things, even that like our live album was a whole day of bands coming on stage and doing their thing. It's like, I guess that little bit of chaos is what adds to the magic, but it'd be cool if we were going to do something legit with put out an actual release of like something high quality. I mean, it'd be nice to have the time to do that and not have, 13 bands on the same stage, maybe a good
using your drum kit
like
before you go up there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's like one of those things. If we could do it right, as everything that we do, it's like we're going to do it right the first time. So if we're going to do something like that, I would think there would be a time and place for it, which it's right around the corner.
And also try to do it in a way that's kind of unique and cool. That seems to kind of be the way we try to do things. Not just like, oh, let's just slap this show out there and call it a DVD release.
Yeah, I know.
It's like it might take longer, for you guys getting this kind of stuff from us, but you guarantee that it's going to be the best fucking possible thing that we can put out there. So there's that.
I agree with that. One thing I'll say, and Nesbit may edit this out because I don't know how much we're going to talk about this, but the next record, I'm just going to tell you guys this here. So yeah, we know that that John is a huge Rush fan. I'm actually not. I don't think any of the three of us are really big Rush fans. I think we all respect them. Dusty probably knows most about them than Armand or myself. But
being a drummer, of course.
So this next record that we're putting out, the other side of the record that you haven't heard is actually, it's kind of a concept. It's a concept that we wrote. It's kind of like a pandemic story, and it's one long song. It splits into four, but if you listen to it continuously, it doesn't break, and it goes for 20 minutes and 20 seconds, like for 2020. And I actually didn't know anything about the Rush 2112 record. I knew that it was a concept record, and so I asked Dusty about it, and he kind of gave me the lowdown on it. And it's basically, it's weird. It's the same kind of concept in a way of what we were doing, with one side being a concept of just a straight song that's over 20 minutes, and then the other side being singles or a handful of songs that really don't. That stand on their own, and so it's a little strange the comparison between the two. So we will remain your favorite band, John, and we will do that. We will do that by carrying on the traditions of your former favorite bands and fine tuning that
New favorite.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that Warrant cover to make it into a set. By the way, guys.
Keep
The
on
Warrant
waiting.
cover? Shit, dude. You'll
Warrant
never
cover.
hear that. I'll send you one of those on through a messenger on something like that.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Stay
John.
safe and look forward to seeing you guys.
Absolutely. Good to see you, John. Thank you.
Good to see you, John. Take care.
All right, John Schuler.
So, a couple of things to add in here. A lot of exclusive information for you podcast listeners. A new full-length Night Demon album titled Year of the Demon. The release date is scheduled for April 15th of 2022. None of this has been announced anywhere, but you guys, you're the podcast listeners. You get the news first. You get the inside scoop. It will contain the 4 singles, Are You Out There, Kill the Pain, Empire's Fall, and Visteria. Remixed, but more than just remixed, these are going to be different versions of the songs. And the rest of the album, it's one epic piece of music, 20 minutes and 20 seconds long. So the album's called Year of the Demon, 2020. It all kind of ties together. I don't know. I've heard an early version of this side of the album without vocals, and it completely blew my mind. I don't know what to say about it. It's going to blow everyone's mind, I think. Year of the Demon, April 15th, 2022. New full-length Night Demon album. 100% worth the wait. I guarantee. I give you my word as a podcaster. Another thing they mentioned was a possible live DVD or a live concert video. So that live Darkness concert, the whole thing was filmed with 9 cameras. You can see one of the tracks on YouTube, and it's also in the subscribers area, the track Evil Like a Knife with Athanar. So based on that one video that's on YouTube from this concert, that would be an amazing live concert video. The quality of the shots and the set list, the lighting, I mean, based on that one track, they really captured the energy of that night. I'll keep you guys up to date if there's any news on that. And also, when John Schuler came on that call at the beginning, I don't know if you noticed, but Armand mentioned that he almost got poisoned by a fog machine. So I had to hear the story behind that, so I asked John for the story. And here he is, again, John Schuler.
So the backstory on the fog machine. So I had a common cold, nothing big at all. A few days before the annual food drive show up in Cleveland, Ohio, that Saturday came and I was feeling great. Took off from Columbus up to Cleveland, got there really early, took my place at the barrier at the front of the stage, kind of where Jarvis's mic stand would be, and stood there the whole show. Well, during the whole show, there was a fog machine right beside the drum riser, and whoever was controlling the fog machine had a very heavy finger because it bellowed fog all night long. I mean, to the point of choking people. And that night, Night Demon set was just friggin' phenomenal. But about three songs left, I was feeling really sick, like I was going to pass out. So I went out to my car, sat down, gathered myself for about 45 minutes, and made the drive back to Columbus, Ohio. And next day, felt okay. Felt, like, again, the common cold. But things progressively got worse during the course of the week. That Sunday, my wife called the emergency squad, and I ended up in the hospital. And they diagnosed me with pneumonia right off the bat. So I was in the hospital for 10 days. I had my lung cut open and pumped, and it was just a nightmare. In fact, they said a couple more days, if I wouldn't have came in, I would have died. That's how bad it was. And the funny thing was, the infectious disease doctor came in towards the very end, and he said, we've been doing a lot of testing on you, and we really think, based on what you told us leading up to everything, that the fog machine had Legionnaire's disease in it, because they grow bacteria and they don't, people don't clean them. And if you were in front of that the whole night, you very well could have been exposed to it. We can't test you right now because you've been in here for, I think at that point it was like 8 days, and we would get in trouble if we tested you. But we're pretty sure that he had Legionnaire's disease. So it's kind of funny. I can tell people now that I almost died seeing one of my favorite bands in the world, Night Demon, and rocking out to them. So that's the backstory to that.
So, John, sorry you almost got killed at a Night Demon show. That's a crazy story. Anyway, John Schuler, a casualty of live darkness.
Let's take this one back to Ireland. Oh, man. Irish connection representing strong today. Dale Buchanan from Belfast. Unmute yourself, please, sir. Wow, now we're really close.
Hey, what's up, Dale?
What's up, dude?
How's it going, fellas?
What's the crack?
The crack is I'm having after drinks from yesterday in my head.
So you are. So it is.
So it was.
So it is.
Yeah. So I got into Night Demon September 2014. So I saw a write-up from High Roller Records mailing list, and it was they were reissuing the EP on 12-inch, and it said, new wave of British heavy metal influences and Diamond Head cover, and I was like, well, I'm buying that. So got that in, loved it, skipped forward a year or two. My cousin and I were going to Baltimore for the Maryland Death Fest, had that all booked. And then we were just looking, and I was like, oh, Corey, Night Demon are playing in Vegas like 2 days after we're supposed to leave Baltimore. And he's like, well, you know what we're going to do then? So I was like, yeah. So we booked the flight. I was like, couldn't miss it. You guys were playing Vamped with Anvil. So yeah, booked that.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the gig was cracking. I really wish I could remember the set list. I've Googled it. I can't get it. But it was a cracking show. And then saw Jarvis at the merch stand, I think just before Anvil were coming on, or maybe just a couple of songs in. I was like, I'm going to hassle this guy, get him to come to Belfast, bring the band over. So yeah, I got chatting. Second time I saw you guys was in Madrid. So you were actually playing on the day that Iron Maiden were supposed to play Dublin. So me and Corey had to do a wee jig about. So we ended up going to see Maiden in Hamburg, and then flew down to Madrid to see you guys that weekend.
Jesus.
And then saw you both Belfast times. So the headline show with Rabid Bitch, and then just recently there with Sacred Right. So yeah, I love you guys. Like Jarvis, love it. And just when I got the albums, and it's like, right, I gotta go. Anyways, you're playing, I gotta go if I can possibly do it, and the money's available. So right, questions then. Right, so a lot of the questions of what I had planned had already been asked.
That's fine.
So I'm gonna come to the alcohol questions. So we know the Night Demon beer is in production and it's gonna happen. So when's the Night Demon wine going to come out? I think that Darkness Remains Merlot could be a good shout.
Wine.
Merlot, yeah, right.
I'm
I think that's a question for Olivier.
Yeah,
I do
Olivier.
like dry red.
Where's the Night Demon wine, right? The beer's coming out. Yeah, Darkness.
You should work on that one.
Yeah, Darkness Remains IPA from Goldhorn Brewing out in Cleveland there. That's going to be coming out next April. We're going to premiere it at the Decibel Beer and Metal Fest in Philadelphia. That is going to happen again. So we're gonna launch that then. We're canning the beer, so it's going to be awesome. What was it, guys? Do you guys remember the alcohol percentage? It was originally I think it was
supposed to be like 8.5.
Way too high.
It was way too high. We got it dropped to like 7 point or 6.9 or something. I just want them to do it at 6.66%. I mean, if they could get right in there, it would just fit with. I mean, I know that's pretty cliche, but I mean, like, I don't think there's actually a beer that's done that, right? So let's be
don't think so.
Let's be the first. We've been the first at a lot of things, so let's try that, you know. But yeah, wine would be cool. There's a guy in Mexico that approached us about doing a mezcal. We have a hot sauce coming out from the Hella Hot Sauce Company in Oakland. So that hot sauce is going to be coming soon. It's called Heavy Metal Heat. That was Armand's idea, and I was like, duh. I was like, what should we call it? He's like, Heavy Metal Heat. It's like, yeah.
Pretty obvious, right?
Do a Save Me Now hot sauce.
Yes, that's a pretty good one. A Save Me Now hot sauce, right? Yeah. No, that's cool.
That's the extreme version.
That's kind of funny. We get approached to do these things like it's when somebody has an idea like that, we're usually pretty honored when it, you cross over to the food and beverage world. It's pretty interesting, so but yeah, me and Dale have had a few beverages here. He's actually here in the north, so we've been able to hang out only once this year, huh?
Yeah, just the once, yeah, because of the lockdown, but hopefully wedding next month, big man. So
yeah, right. Yeah, Dale's wedding's happening, so I'm gonna make an appearance there. So well, killer, man.
Nice.
Thank you, Dale, for chiming in and staying up late here on a work night. Yeah, hey, sorry we got all of our UK, Irish, and European guys here near the end. I'm sure you guys probably wanted to go first. Sorry about that. I didn't think about the time thing here, but yeah, very cool, Dale, coming all the way from Ireland and seeing the band for the first time in Las Vegas. How crazy is that, right? So, anyway, thanks, lad. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Dale. Appreciate it, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
All right, guys, thanks.
All right, let's take this back to Berlin, Germany. We've got a few more people here. We are going to Thomas. Are you here? There, let's go. Unmute your microphone there, Thomas Harms.
What up, Thomas? Yeah, what up, dude?
Thomas.
Yeah, it's good to see you, brother.
There it is, man.
Yeah, near Hamburg.
The other half of my forgotten night in Berlin.
Sorry, I said Berlin, but you're near Hamburg, right?
Yeah, I'm near Hamburg.
Right.
Oh,
I just see you in Berlin a lot when you're okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And Hamburg.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I start or I come to Night Demon in 2015, and then I see you in 2016 first time in Hamburg, and yeah, then we were often on the road with Sebastian together, and I have seen you around 10 times now, a little bit more maybe. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sebastian has told it also. The great gig was the Rock Hard Festival 2018. That was a big crowd and everything. That was.
Let me interrupt you really quick. Sorry, really quick. Another exclusive spoiler alert. Night Demon will be returning to Rock Hard 2022 in early June. We will be there. We are confirmed, and we have a higher spot on the lineup this year. We'll be the fourth band of that day. Just letting you know. Keep going.
Great. Yeah, that's great. 2019 at the Metal Gods Festival in Berlin together. That was a funny story now when we go after show, waiting for the taxi, and you said, no, we want to go to the hotel. We have to take our flight tomorrow. And then Armand was running. Oh no, I want to go back with you with the taxi. And then we.
Yeah.
And this night ends in the morning in Sebastian's kitchen. And
Breakfast of the Champions.
Yeah. That was a very funny story.
Yeah, funny for you. Yep.
Because I think you get to get your flight, but really in time. Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah, we made it. That's all that matters.
We made it.
But you made it, yeah.
Any burning question you need to ask the band?
Question is, or my idea maybe, because these cover songs are really great. You did on the singles also, and maybe you can, or maybe it's an idea when you're back all together at one place in one studio, or maybe you can do some covers by request or your Die Hard channel. What about this?
Yeah, covers by what?
By request.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we should. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. Funny that you mentioned that. We were asked to be on a Diamond Head. Oh, Armand and Dusty, I'm telling you guys right now. We were asked to be on a Diamond Head tribute comp. Okay. But the thing is, like, the deadline is just, we're not going to make it. We're not here. And they suggested, well, these days, you can record the drums, or Dusty can record the drums here. It's like, we're not going to do that. If we're going to share ideas with each other, we can do that. But to put out a recording of the band playing, I mean, like, we play live in a room together. It just, so this did come up. We did have a request to do this recently, but, since we just didn't want to do it this way. At least, like, sorry guys. You guys are really getting the inside scoop. We're just talking about it right now as a band for the first time. We're not going to do that, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I mean,
hey,
right?
Thomas,
like, we're gonna.
What's your suggestion? Give us your top song right now, live on the air.
Band no one knows. Maybe it's a small band here from Germany. I sent you a tape for maybe the mixtape, Jarvis. That's some cool 80s metal that could be perfect.
Definitely obscure stuff is better for us, but also, like, I think it might be like how Metallica did, like, Garage Inc., where it's like you have what half of the record is like, a compilation of the covers that the band's done throughout its career, and then you have like a new record, like with new stuff like that. But I think by request is cool. It makes it really interesting, and it kind of lets us off the hook, actually, from being like, those guys tried to do what? Like, they thought they could pull that off. So, all right, cool, man. You know what? That's good. Thomas, I think that's a good idea, and I think we actually will do that, okay? Even if it's just for...
It's a great idea.
Even if it's just... I mean, whatever. We've got nothing to lose. Let's do it. Yeah. Write that one down. All right, cool. Thomas, thank you very much, my friend. Cheers, all right? We'll see you soon. All right, we've got a few more people here, okay? Let's keep it in Germany here. We are going to go to Dirk Schneider. Dirk and Diana.
Yeah, this is... Could you hear me?
Yes, Dirk Schneider. Dirk and Diana Schneider from Kassel, Germany.
Wonderful. Hi, guys. Okay, the first meeting with Night Demon was in 2015 when I'm a promoter in Kassel, and I got a request from a guy who told me there's a young band from the States that is really cool. You need to have that on stage. Okay, let's do it. And so we did the Easter Metal meeting in 2015, and we invited you to Kassel to come to play here for us. And what I saw is a bunch of young and wild guys with an absolutely energetic music and a lot of attitude, and that blows me away that day. So it was a really, really great killer show. And yeah, from that day on, I became a fan of the band. And I did some more shows for you here in Kassel in 16, 17, and 18. So every year. The true Night Demon show every year here in Kassel, as we did. And we discovered our love for Döner and the Döner Street here in Kassel. So we have a lot of days that we spend, and a lot of nights that we spend after the shows here in the Döner Street. And it was really fun. We saw a lot of shows in the last years. we counted to 18. So we grown up. So that's cool. I think it was the Wacken, Bang Your Head, Partisan, Rock Hard, a lot of club shows, etc. And we became friends, and you invited us to Ventura. So we came to Ventura, and we had a great time being at Frost and Fire one day, and being at the Captain's Quarters studio, meeting all you guys there. It was really familiar, and we became friends. So that's really, really cool, and we thanks for that, because we love the band, we love the guys, and we're still very happy to have you guys. And one other personal highlight was that you participate on my band's album of Chaos Path on Downfall. You all three guys, I love that. Thank you very much for that.
We're still waiting for that royalty check.
Okay, I have a special question, because next year I turn 50. It's my 50th birthday. I think I don't look like 50, but they say 50, Dirk Schneider, next year. I think I would like to ask you, what would every one of you like to do to make this day for me unforgettable?
What?
Well, what's the date? Where will we be, first of all?
25th of February.
Next
Yeah.
year. Oh.
So you're going to come to the States then?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I hope we can travel that day, because at the moment it's still not possible.
That's got to kill you being a Germans, man. They plan everything ahead so far. It's like people are asking me about bookings for 2023 summer festivals. I'm like, man, we just don't know yet. Like, you guys are always like, so he's already like, he's already nervous about it. It's like, look at him. Jeez. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Like, it's like he wants to know now what's happening that day. It's my birthday. Yeah. Yeah. We'll figure something out, man. We'll do something special, I'm sure. Even if we got to do it virtually like this, right? This is how the world works now. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Diana, please say hi to somebody here.
Yes.
Hi.
There you go.
What's
Okay.
up? Good to see you guys.
Diana's right. Diana's his ride or die. She's always with us and helps out a lot too, and always works the door at our shows too. One quick story. I remember one time when we played at the K19 in Kassel, there was a German soccer match, and it was hot as shit in the summer.
Oh yeah.
And it was a thing where it's like all the opening bands had played, but the game went into overtime or something, and nobody wanted to come inside. There was a TV outside the venue, and people were just standing. So we had to wait for the game to be over. So we were all warmed up and ready to go, but we had to wait an extra 45 minutes before we even started.
Luckily, Germany won.
Because
right.
it was a
that was the
great
thing.
show.
Yeah.
Everybody would have
Amazing.
left. They would have been like, fuck this, we're out of here. Our night's ruined.
Yeah, we got lucky for that.
It was 2016, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dirk and Diana. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Good to see you guys.
Davina, are you there?
What's up, Davina?
Coming in from Windham, Ohio. Hey.
I'm here.
What's up?
Hello.
Good to see everybody.
How's it going?
You too.
Going good. Nice day here today. So I don't know exactly when I found Night Demon, but when I did, I was all in. And the first documented show that I went to was May 4th, 2016. It was at the Maple Grove in Maple Heights. And that's when you guys recorded Radar Love at that show. And then I actually met you guys December 1st of 2017 at the Maple Grove. It was the day before the Cleveland Metal Holiday Food Drive at the Beachland Ballroom, where you recorded the Live Darkness album. And I was at that show, which was, December 2nd, 2017. And that was a great show as well. I went to the show at the Satan's Den August 17th, 2018. I don't remember who invited me to that show, but thank you to whoever invited me. That was a great show. I brought lots of cookies and Jägermeister.
Yeah. I remember we all went swimming that night.
Right.
Yes. In this Yoder's pool. That was fun. Next, guys, was at the Metal Immortal Festival in Pittsburgh. That's next time you guys came through. That was June 29th, 2019. And Deb from Lady Beast put that together. And that show, that whole day was amazing. And I actually got to show off my one-of-a-kind Night Demon purse by Devil Love Designs. And the next show I was supposed to go to was going to April 11th, 2020. So in March of 2020, I went and got this.
Yeah.
Damn.
On my forearm with the Black Widow on it. And then a week later, everything shut down. So I was kind of bummed about that. But Black Widow is actually the name of my Jeep. And Jarvis, I need a Night Demon vinyl to put on my Jeep. So that's a great idea there for some merch.
Yeah. Okay.
So one of my funny stories, back in 2018, I wanted to send something to you guys, and I wanted to send it for Halloween. I can already laugh at Jarvis. So there's this company out there called You Goat Mail, and they have this awesome demon goat, and they send the stuffed animal anonymously, but you write a note to it. So I looked up the Night Demon fan mail address, and it was a P.O. box. So I had it sent there with a note that I was hoping that they would get that it came from Cleveland or Ohio. And I was watching the socials to see if they would post anything, and weeks went by and the months went by and I saw nothing. And I was like, huh. And then Jarvis ended up coming through town with a band he was managing. And I went up to him and I was like, hey, did you get that demon goat I sent you? And Jarvis, your face was just, it was priceless. It was priceless. And I didn't realize how much you had went through to try to figure out who had sent that.
I was like waiting for the next package. The next package was going to be like like a goat's heart. You know, we're like, this is weird. You know, this is weird. You know, we were trying to figure that out, right?
Yeah, because you said that it was postmarked from Texas, so you kept asking people from Texas if they had sent that to you. And I was like, that. I mean, it's just one of those things where you had spent so much time. You're like, I just practically given up asking everybody, did you send this to us? Did you send this to us?
And somebody put like a hex on me, like a curse. Somebody from Texas had that, and that was part of it too. That I thought, well, it was addressed to the band. I didn't think it was for me, but I remembered that after that, and that's another story. But you know, I thought, you know, hey, so.
All my hexes live in Texas, dude.
Oh boy! That's the end of the second comedy hour here.
Exiled in Pennsylvania. Yep.
So, my question, because you know I gotta keep it spicy. Stalkers. Lots of us have had them. You know, they know where you live. They know where you are. They know who you're with. They know what you're wearing, what you're eating. Even down to what your phone conversations are. And I don't know how they do that shit. It is scary as hell. So my question is, do you or have you guys had Night Demon stalkers, and how bad has it been, or are they?
I'm gonna have to. I would say let's talk off camera, because there's other people here that may fall into that category. Mom, no, I'm joking. You know, it's funny. I know a couple. I know something with these guys, but I'll just say I'll let them talk for themselves. But I'll just say for me, there's been a couple strange ones. Here's the thing: we're pretty accessible. We're pretty open book, and I just want to say that, you know, we appreciate you guys so much. Like, we wanted to make one level of subscribership. You know what I'm saying? And you can't. The thing is, we're never going to raise the price. You know, we're going to add more value the more and more we do this. We're not going to go, okay, now we're doing more cool stuff. We're going to raise the price, right? People that come in now, they're getting all this stuff. You guys, a lot of you guys have been with us from the beginning. We want you guys to know how much we appreciate that. And doing something like this is the least that we can do, you know? And if somebody can't afford it, that's fine, you know? Like, whatever. But I'm saying, with the contributions you guys have made now, it's really kept the lights on for us. I mean, we still have to pay rent at a studio and everything. Like, it's been a big difference maker for us. And we hope that we add a lot of value to what we do specifically for you guys. So, what I will say, that's the long answer. The short answer is yeah. And the kind of people that get mad, you know, they'll send you a personal message on social media daily saying, like, good morning. And if you don't answer them by noon, they're like, okay, well, whatever, you know? It's like, but the thing is, listen, when you travel the world, you meet a lot of people and you realize that, like, everybody's different. Everybody is different. There's so many, you know, people, especially these days, you know, there's a lot of people that are just, everybody's special in their own way, right? But I know of that. I don't know if these guys want to comment. I know at least.
Well,
Dusty,
I was just going to kind of say, and I know that, like, at least for Jarvis, I mean, he's like the most recognizable person in our band. I think, like, Armand and I can kind of, like, you know, blend in with the people a little bit more, and, you know, we can kind of get away with it. But, like, somebody like Wolf Hoffman from Accept, he walks out, everybody goes to him. You know, there's, like, certain people that can only come out in those kind of situations every now and then, you know, because if they're there the whole time and accessible the whole time, people do not leave them alone, and it just becomes super overwhelming and overbearing. So I can only imagine, you know, for Jarvis, it's a bit more.
No.
Issue,
but hang on.
You know,
you've had females.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skirting the issue here.
Yeah. Don't feel bad for me, man. You know, I mean, well, yeah, you should feel bad for me because, like, yeah, for me, it's like, you know, it's like Dirk. You know, I mean, not Dirk specifically, but, you know, it's the 50-year-old German guy. Oh, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. The Dusty will remember this. This is right before Armand joined the band. On one of our first tours in Europe, you know, a girlfriend I was dating at the time came out on tour, you know, and you know, when you tour this much and you're young and wild like we were, there's always a lot of, you know, hey, what's going on out there? You know, the girls throwing themselves all over you, right? And I'm like, I swear it's not like that out here. This is metal. It's not like that. It's not like that. Like, there's not, like, it's not 80s. It's not like Sunset Strip rock. We're not that kind of a metal band. And I remember this, Dustin, when the first place she went with us, we pulled up to our hotel and there were fans waiting outside, like waiting for us to show up. We're like, how the hell did they figure out what hotel we're at? And I'm like, shit, because I was kind of sleeping and I kind of woke up and then peeked my head out the van and it was like 4 German guys, like in their 60s, like with records to sign. And I'm like, yeah, thank God. That's the reality. But yeah, but Dustin's had young females like obsessed with you. I know Armand. I'm not gonna. I don't know if it's. I don't know, Armo. Has anybody been taken to the level like that of that obsession with you? I definitely know you've had some female admirers because they ask me, you know, hey, where's your guitar player?
Well, they're asking you, but they're not following me. I don't know. I think we all know who Dusty's had he's probably had the best one out of all of us. It's been an inside joke. We won't mention names or places or who it is, but we know. And I'll just say something.
It's harmless.
Good
It's
baby.
harmless. Yeah, there's nothing's been weird, you know. Yeah, good baby is all I gotta say.
Yeah, nothing, Davina. Nothing's been
mine.
crazy, awkward. Like, well, things have been awkward, but nothing's been like, there's no restraining orders or anything like that. And all you guys know us. I mean, look at we're always hanging out after the gig. Like, we're just those kinds of people. We're not, we're not on any higher level of social status. So.
Dude,
Davina,
that's
thank you so
good.
much. Did we answer your question correctly there? Everything good?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on, and love
Thank you,
you.
Davina.
Can't-
Love you too.
Absolutely.
Okay. We're going to our last person here, Mr. Kit Ekman. Thank you guys for hanging out. We are, by the way, for
Yes, thank you,
subscribers,
guys.
this video is going to go up on the subscriber site, so you can rewatch it if you want. Kit, unmute yourself. Oh, sorry, you already did. Go ahead and do that again. Sorry.
All right, I'm going to be quick because this has gone long. It's been awesome, and thank you all so much for doing this. Great to see you guys. Great to see the hardest dying diehard Night Demon fans in the world. Most of you I know already and love already, and the ones I don't know, I love you now. And we're going to all be together soon, and it's going to be completely great and wonderful. It's going to be better than it ever was before. I swear it's going to be that way. And Dirk, you're not going to distract me by waving, so don't try. All right, so my history with Night Demon, yes, Pints in Belfast. That is absolutely going to happen, I swear it. My history with Night Demon begins in May of 2014 at the Pounding Metal Festival in Madrid, Spain. Mm-hmm. I was there with another band who shall remain nameless. I love those guys very much.
Widow.
But Widow.
Yeah, sorry. Go.
And to this day, they still say y'all kind of stole me from them, but it's all right. I got enough love to share with everyone. But
That's it.
So this awesome festival with all these incredibly great Spanish people who most of them don't speak English. And metal's the international language, and we all love each other, and it's great. But there weren't a lot of people there speaking English, and so the English speakers just ended up kind of hanging out and talking. And I didn't know these guys from a hole in the wall, but ended up just having just deep conversations that night with Dustin and with Jarvis and Brent as well. Mm-hmm. And that was the beginning of sort of the rest of my life. And since then it's been, I don't even know where to start with stories. I'm not going to give any stories.
You'll get your own episode, I'm sure, one day.
Yeah, honestly, out of anybody that we know, you've traveled the most with us, in the van, sleeping, sitting up, and melting in Miami somewhere, waiting because we have to sleep for a couple hours, So you've definitely spent some genuine moments with us that not everybody, I think, could handle.
And a lot of sleepless nights, too.
There have been those.
Kit's always been my ride or die. If no one else wants to go out, Kit's ready to go. And he'll stay up with me.
He is a trooper.
As far
He is
as
a
I go.
fucking trooper.
He's right there, man. And then he goes and runs 10 miles in the morning, too. Fuck.
At least.
I go find Armin for late night pubs, always, and we do it. But yeah, and you guys know this already, but just to get it out there, the best times in my whole life have been the times on the road with you guys, and that's the honest truth. And there's going to be a lot more of those still to come. The pandemic doesn't screw anything. It doesn't change anything. It's going to come back stronger and better than ever before. I know it, you know it, and it's going to be glorious, and I can't wait. So to that end, to wrap things up in a nice little bow, if I can try to do that, here's the question, getting down to brass tacks. Somebody wants to see Night Demon in 2021. Where and when is that most likely to happen? And I know you can't be pinned down with certainty because everything's in flux, but like there's this Candelabrum Fest in Mexico.
That's not happening.
No?
Yeah, that like literally yesterday, they're like, hey, they're doing a half capacity show in September. And we said, nah, just put us back next year because they're doing half the bands and half the capacity. And it's like, no, Sirathongo's on that show. And so we have to go with them anyway. It's like, no, we'll just wait till we can both do it. So that's going to happen 2022. Like I said, October, we'll be together as a band working on some stuff back home. I would say maybe, I don't know, maybe the Hamburg thing, Halloween. I don't know, maybe. But 2021, It's going to be a long shot, man. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Yoder will get off the golf course and like fly us out for a weekend while we're all hanging out. You know, I mean, you never know, man. You never know. But
yeah, we could go rehearse one day and then do a show and then go in the
Right.
pool the next day. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
3 day.
that would be something that we would do, you know. But this is the thing. It's like you got to plan so far ahead for this stuff. You just have to. But it's May right now. A lot can happen, you know. A lot can. We may play a gig this year. I don't know. It'd be nice to. We'll have to see what happens. It's not impossible.
Worst comes to worst, I'll come stalk you to Venus style to captain's quarters in October. How about that?
There you go.
There you go.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Hell
Thanks,
yeah.
Kit.
Love you, Kit.
Yeah.
Thanks,
brother.
kid.
Alright.
Love you, man. Good to see you.
All right,
Later on,
guys.
brother.
So thank you all so much. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys have
Yes.
enjoyed and had a good time. You guys are fucking great. Thank you so much.
Yes,
This has been a
thank you,
lot of fun.
guys.
Please, you know, anybody, just reach out to us personally whenever you want to. Our door is always open. We appreciate all the support here. Anything you guys have, any suggestions you guys have for the podcast or the site or for just music in general, anything. You guys just want to talk. If you guys, you guys are our friends. So we appreciate you guys so much and we thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing you guys on the podcast next week. So thank you guys.
Hell yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much.
Cheers, everybody.
So there you have it. Ask the Demon Live. Lots of exclusive news in this one. The new Night Demon album. Really, really looking forward to that. Year of the Demon. Possibly a live concert video in the future. That would also be awesome. I'm excited for Frost and Fireland. So fingers crossed for 2022. There's going to be more of these live virtual hangouts with the band in the future. If you want to get in on one, sign up to be a subscriber on nightdemon.net. And I always say this, but be sure to check the subscribers area in nightdemon.net for the bonus content. I mean, every week that goes by, there's more and more content getting put in there. You could spend a whole day poking around in there watching videos, looking at the hundreds and hundreds of pictures, tons of cool Night Demon stuff in there. Be sure to check that out. Until next time, this is Nesbit signing off.
Save me now, 'cause I'm losing all control. Save me now, death is knocking at my door. Save me now, Lucifer has got a hold. My soul is gonna burn in flame. Oh no! Thanks for listening to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. Head over to nightdemon.net, click on the subscriber tab, and sign up to access exclusive weekly bonus content. If you would like to donate to support the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast, you can do so through PayPal at paypal.me/nightdemonmetal. Additionally, if you have not already done so, please subscribe, like, rate, and review the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts.
All hail, Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. This is Dusty Squires chiming in to tell you about my brand new signature sticks from the London Drumstick Company. I've dreamt of having my very own drumsticks ever since I was a wee lad, and LDC made that a possibility for me. Founded in 2016 in London, England, the birthplace of heavy metal, the London Drumstick Company has trailblazed a path through the music industry and taken the drummer world by storm. When I met them for the first time, they knew their product was going to withstand the beatings of a Night Demon show. They took the time to work with me on getting everything just right. The balance and weight of my sticks are the same no matter what, and the durability is bar none the best I've ever had. I know my sticks will last through the set night after night. I'm truly honored to work with a company that caters to their players the way LDC does. Their innovation and attention to detail is what separates them from the rest of the stick makers out there. Their custom stick sleeves are unbelievable and really make the entire presentation complete. Wait until you see the design they came up with for me. It blew my mind and was a surprise to say the least. They have all kinds of amazing swag, including hoodies, t-shirts, drummer shorts, drum keys, stick bags, towels, face masks, practice pads, and much, much more. Even if you're not a drummer, you can be a part of Demon history and order my brand new signature sticks direct from their website. How cool is that? And to top it off, the London Drumstick Company are giving an exclusive offer to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. Go to londondrumsticks.co.uk and receive a 15% store-wide discount using promo code DEMONSTICKS. All capital letters, no spaces, Demon Sticks. DEMONSTICKS. I can't thank everyone there enough for the opportunity to be a part of their family and for them trusting me with their amazing products. See you metal maniacs on the road very soon. And yes, the wood chips will be flying.
Greetings, boils and ghouls. This is your comrade, the Crypt Keeper here, reporting dead from the sanctuary of the strange. Tonight's macabre myth is a fright-filled feature, one overflowing with monsters, madness, and magic.
Visit our website at monstersmadnessandmagic.com to stay up to date on all the dark dealings within the sanctuary of the strange. Enjoy the show.
Hey Metalheads, I'm Mark and I host the Metal Forge. Let me tell you about the show. The Metal Forge features the best underground metal from all over the world. We spend every week with a different artist with interviews, in-depth conversations, and most of all, the music. We also feature audience interactivity where you can submit your questions to the upcoming guests. New episodes are out every Friday at noon Eastern Time at metalforgeradio.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking Podcast, a non-genre based, all-ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
Okay, metalheads, you've been complaining that there has not been a channel that plays all of the heavy metal videos from past, present, and future for years and years at this point. Well, that time is over. Heavy Metal Television is back. HeavyMetalTelevision.net is the website. Go there. You can see videos playing 24/7, 365, all the time, all the best from the old school, the new school, and everything in between. Check it out, HeavyMetalTelevision.net. It is where the metal is.